I'm hoping, hi everybody, this is Revi, and I'm hoping that it's working now. I'm using a new system called StreamYard. And let's see if I'm going to be on, I'm just checking if it's working. I just don't see it. Okay, I'm gonna talk and hopefully it will go on. It still says no one is viewing. So I still don't see if anyone, I don't know if you guys can see me. This is always about testing, so thanks for your patience, guys. I really appreciate it. Nope, that is, I don't think I'm live. I don't think anyone can see. If not, I'm live. Okay. Is it working? I think there's a major delay on it. So I think that it's working. So I'm going to leave it on. It says on for 1 minute, but there's definitely a delay. I hope it's working. Okay, I'm just gonna start to talk. We will just start and see what happens. So, is it working? I think it is. Listen, this is what happens. Like when you try new things, you know, you test things and you discover new things. So I'm using this new platform called StreamYard, which I think makes the video better and the screen better. And I'm also able to go live on multiple platforms. So hopefully it works. If you guys want to make any comments, I can see it, I believe, but you need to maybe go to StreamYard to add them as somebody that can make comments on Facebook because they do protect you. Oh yeah, StreamYard.com/Facebook and just say you can make a comment. But if not, I believe I can see any comments as well. Anyway, so it's a couple minutes late. I do apologize. Again, just testing out a new platform. So this video is about my favorite subject in the whole world, which is dating after divorce. Like I just cannot believe what a whirlwind it was after I broke up with my husband and I entered the dating world. I was like completely in shock. Obviously, many of us who've been married for 20 plus years, we didn't date with the whole apps and the J Date and the Match and the Tinder and Plenty of Fish and all those things. So I'm here to tell you that when it comes to dating after divorce, finding Mr. Right, finding love, having a man in your life again, there's one very, very important perspective about that, and that is your perspective, your attitude. See, when it comes to meeting a man, it's not about him, it's about you. Again, I'm going to repeat that. It's not about him, it's about you. So I see a lot of the comments on Facebook, and obviously I see a lot on Instagram and TikTok where I'm very active, and they're like, I don't know if who's going to want me, what man will like me, who's going to take me, will he want to be with me, am I this, am I that, I have kids, all this stuff. And I'm here to give you a paradigm shift. I don't really care about him. I really don't. Guys, we've been married. We have kids. Check mark, check mark. We're now divorced. We've been down that road. So we know what it's all about. Because we've achieved, to me, such a major accomplishment, which is having kids. Like, to me, having kids it was like my big goal of my life. So when you have the mindset that you've already achieved such an empowering and beautiful marker of having children, the rest is cake. Like, because we've been married and we know what that's all about, also, okay. And because we survived a divorce, or we're getting through a divorce, and you will survive it because that is the only option that you have. There's no other option than to get through it and transform yourself into a fearless woman. Like, everything is cake. Everything is cake. And the more that you release the power of him, like when I hear women saying, oh, he doesn't like me, or he didn't call me, or he, who's going to want me? And no. So the most empowering and emboldening mindset shift that I can give to you when it comes to dating, whether you want to date, whether you want to date to have a boyfriend, whether you want to date to meet a husband, we'll talk about all that. And again, that's up to you, we're not giving him any more power. That's over. We did that in our marriage. We do not surrender our power to anyone. We just don't. So the power only will go to ourselves. That's truly the key in the mindset shift of dating after divorce. So that's really what I want to share with you here. So when you start dating, it's about you discovering who you are. It's about you learning about yourself. It's about you figuring out what you want in a man, not what he wants in a man. You know, I was talking to this one woman and she was really upset because she went out with this guy. They only talked for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever. They finally met. They had a great time. They really had a great time. The next day he called her and he said, listen, I had a great time, but we're not a fit. We're not a match. And she was completely heartbroken. She said, you know, I really thought he was the one. Imagine the power you give to a man that you've just met to say, I thought he was the one. Like if you're thinking a guy that you've just dated for talked to just a few weeks, and then you go out on a date and you have a great time and you say he's the one, girlfriend, we got to talk. Like that you cannot do. You cannot surrender your power to this guy that you just started chatting to on JDate or Match or whatever, Tinder, and put all your eggs into it. That's a disaster. And that's really, like, for me, the biggest part for me personally, apart from the empowerment and the worth element and the independence, is to put that power of the man into me, not into him. So when you start dating and you're out there, you cannot say, oh my God, he's the one. He's fitting everything and he's the one after 3 weeks. If that sounds familiar to you, if that's something that you are, then it is my opinion that you are still very needy for a man. And when you're very needy for a man versus wanting a man, you will attract the wrong type of man. So that's what happens. What happens is that when we're needy, we propel what is really good for us and we attract what's really bad for us. That's the mindset shift in dating, really in anything, but specifically when it comes to dating and men. That if you're so badly wanting a man, you're actually pushing the right and healthy man. So maybe that guy that she went out with was a really great guy. I'm not doubting that. I'm sure he was wonderful. But because of the neediness, it could have propelled him. So the trick, if you want to call it a trick, or the technique, perhaps that's a better word, the technique with dating after divorce is not to attach to the man, but rather to attach to the end result. Again, the technique when it comes to dating after divorce is not to attach to the guy, but to attach to the end result. Meaning if your end result is I want a boyfriend, or I want a husband, or I just want to, have fun, which I think is a great idea, then that's what you attach to. And understand that your process of dating is just that. It's just hitting the baseball bat, hitting the baseball bat, hitting the baseball bat. Some guys, you'll get to first base with them. Some guys, there'll be strikeouts. Some guys will be foul balls. But there will be the home run. And in fact, with dating after divorce, you'll find several men that will be home runs. Because what happens when you go through your transformation of recovering and rebuilding after divorce is your bar keeps getting higher and higher if you're doing the right work. Just stay here in my group and that will happen to you. As long as you're improving. So right now you're here. So you attracted your husband at this level and then you guys broke up, and you probably broke up because you went up here, but he stayed down here and therefore it wasn't a match. So what is happening now, because of the divorce, you might be toggling back down. So that's why initially I am against dating right after divorce. Like dating within a few months of a divorce is extremely dangerous, because you're so brokenhearted and you're so vulnerable that you're going to attract a man who he can sniff you out, a little cute Bambi deer that's hurt. And that hyena and that, that predator, he's going to smell you out. I'm not saying that you can't find good men in that state. You can, but you're lucky. That will be an element of luck if you are that brokenhearted and you find a man that's truly a healer and a giver. And that's wonderful. I'm not saying it can't happen, but it's very rare. And usually women who are brokenhearted and have had a toxic and a challenging marriage, if we're going out there and dating so fast, we haven't even coped. We're still in shock, denial, trauma, fight or flight, survival mode, right? And now you go out there to date. Listen, if you want to go out there to date, to meet guys and have fun, go for it. Like, why not? We're grown women here. We're adults here. I'm all for that. I'm all for that. If you're strong enough to not get emotionally attached to the man and use it as Disneyland, girlfriend, do it. Just be smart and safe about it. Don't have the guy come to your house and pick you up in public and all that stuff. Why not? We're grown women. We've been married. We have our kids. Check mark, check mark, check mark. You see, once again, I'm emboldening you with the power of being a woman and a grown-up and an adult. Stop making these rules. I talk to these women and they have these rules. I have to do X, I have to do Y, I have to be like this, my parents, my this, my that, my blah, 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 blah. No. It's a canvas, guys. The empowering thing about getting a divorce is that we have a major check mark done, which is kids, which is great, which is amazing. And we then have a white canvas and you get to draw whatever the hell you want on it. That's what's so friggin' amazing about it. You see, yes, there's sadness. Yes, there's anger. Yes, it's difficult, but that's this way. When you look to the left of the past and the damage, I want you to shift and I want you to look forward. I don't want you to look backwards. I want you to look backwards to learn why you had this man in your life that was toxic, that was a cheater, that was verbally abusive. That is important to learn, not to beat yourself up over. We talked about yesterday, self-sabotage, self-verbal abuse. I'm so stupid, I was so dumb, blah, blah, blah. No, you're not allowed to say that about yourself. There was a reason you were with him. There was a time you liked being with him. I certainly was very in love with my husband when I first met him. I have to say that the first half of our marriage, I mean, we had issues always, but the bulk of it, I have to be honest with you, I was very happy even though a lot of my friends told me it wasn't healthy. Okay, maybe it wasn't, but honestly, it was good. For me, the change with my husband happened when we had our kids, because, once I had kids, all the attention, of course, goes to the kids, and God forbid he didn't get the attention. So that was the pivotal point for me. But it doesn't matter. Like, I don't want any one of us, this is part of my paradigm shift for us as women, to not beat ourselves up and to be emboldened and empowered by the fact that we've been around the block, we have experience, and there is another amazing man out there. There's multiple amazing men out there. Multiple. There's a lot of them. See, we've just been looking through the wrong windows. When we look through the wrong windows, we're going to attract the wrong men. When we look through the right windows, we will attract the right kind of guys. So you got to go out there with the attitude of not attaching to the man. So the minute you start dating and you see a guy and it's good, you're like, he's the one. He's amazing. He's, everything is great. He's working. He has a job. He's a dad. He's got kids, blah, 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 verbal, all that stuff. And then you go meet him. Maybe you go out with him for a few weeks, even a few months. It doesn't work out. And then you're heartbroken and devastated. Well, you attach to him and not to the end result. So that my biggest advice when it comes to dating after divorce is don't make it about him, meaning the person itself. Make it about the end result, meeting a great man. Like, be very clear on what you want. I know when I started to date, I put on all my profiles LTR, long-term relationship. And I said, if you're looking for hookup, not interested. I had a girlfriend of mine that was only interested in having fun. And she wrote on her profile, not interested in marriage or long-term relationship, just looking to meet and, you know, enjoy my time. And that's okay. Like, go for it. Younger men, older men, what the heck? Do whatever you want to do. Again, these rules and these laws and this pressure, we self-created. And that's on us. That's on us to do that. I want you to use this opportunity of dating as an opportunity to paint the canvas and have fun, experiment. There's lots of people out there that's in our shoes. There's a lot of great men out there. There's a lot of crappy men out there, but there's a lot of great men too. And if you start coming from the perspective of not being needy, not attaching to the guy to be the one, not attaching to this one guy that's texting you back as the man who's going to rescue you and save you, then you are going to just be so much more secure in how you enter that space that the guys will line up. They will line up. There's nothing sexier than a secure woman. There's nothing sexier than a woman who's busy. There's nothing sexier than a woman who's emboldened in what she wants and is not needing you. You know, for me, dating, I was like, they would ask me out to dinner. I'm like, hell no. I'm not spending 2 hours with you in a restaurant if I don't like you. Because even the profile picture might be nice and the texting might be right. The physical energy of when you meet the person is what really determines, right? It's called pheromones. There's an actual molecule, an energetic molecule that is created when a man and a woman meet. And that energy, that connection is called pheromone. It's an actual molecule that comes out. So that energy there has to be something. You can only experience that by meeting the man. But imagine if you go and meet the man and you like him and you're all of a sudden so needy and graspy and latchy and he's going to be like, ugh, this woman's got drama. I'm out of here. But that's because you're attaching to him. We're not attaching to him. We're attaching to the concept of meeting a great man, of having a great man in our life again, of dating, of being in a relationship. I'm going to sneeze, by the way. So when I sneeze, I will look away. I'm just giving you a heads up that my nose is itchy. Wait. So, you know, it's really hard to do that because when we're so brokenhearted and we've gone through so much pain, you know, obviously it's a human nature to want to have a man in our lives. Like, look at the squirrels, look at, you know, the animal kingdom. Of course you want a partner in your life, you know, but we've been down that road before and we know what it's all about. So we have every right to be selective and to vet. You know, my profession is that of a recruiter. I've mentioned this to you guys a few times. My company is called Wall Street Personnel. I'm in the process of, God willing, walking away from it. I'm doing this really full time because I just friggin' love it so much. But one thing I'm really good at is vetting and really assessing background, skill set, you know, authenticity, integrity. Are you a liar? You know, I would check them out. I'd look them up on LinkedIn and all that. You can't, you know, there's certain things when it comes to dating after divorce, you can't believe a guy. You just can't. Excuse me while I have my coffee. You guys know that every morning I get my Starbucks coffee. So it's really comes down to not being needy. So what happens with the neediness with women is that many of us, the reason why the divorce is so difficult, and you see, like when I made that comment on Facebook, what keeps you up at night, a lot of women are, can I make it? Can I manage without a man? Can I do it? Because what happens when we're young and we attach to our husbands, we attach to them based on survival, on, you know, truly safety, security, money, roof over our heads, etc. So that's a problem. Because that's why it becomes so hard to detach from the husband. Many of us stayed married for probably longer than we should have because we were with them for safety, security, which, by the way, makes total sense. And that's why now it's so overwhelming and it's almost like debilitating. And we almost on a visceral level want to attach to a man again to save us, rescue us, food, shelter, payment, and all that stuff. Not healthy. And that's the part that a predatorial man might sense your vulnerability and your neediness, and you're just going to attract a man who probably needs exactly what you need, if not worse. I knew this one woman that dated a guy. I'm not kidding. She dated this guy 2 weeks after they broke up, her and her husband. And within 4 weeks, so she was maybe separated. They weren't even divorced. They were separated. 6 weeks, this new man moved into her apartment with her kids. And I was like, what are you doing? You're letting a total stranger, a man, move in with you. And he made some convoluted manipulation. She has 3 kids. He manipulated and said he'll pay 1/5 of the rent because there was 5 people there. The 3 kids, her and him. So the rent was split 5 ways. I was like, you're kidding, right? He should at minimum pay 50%. He should really pay 100%. That's my perspective with a man, but at minimum 50. But she was so vulnerable and needy that she will take anything that comes her way. Therein lies the problem. That's just drama. And of course, 3 months, 4 months later, she kicked him out. But kids saw it, drama, fighting, ex-husband. Come on. Come on. You have to grow up. Like, there comes a point that, we're not 20. Okay, this isn't Cinderella. We know that's not the case. The sooner you become an adult and grow up and take accountability, that part of the marriage, the divorce, had to do with you. All day long, people will say when they found out my husband and I broke up, they right away said, oh, he was this, he was that. They right away knew that the anger came from him. But I was part of it. I was part of that. See, so when you take that accountability and you recognize that's why the dating is so dangerous. It's beautiful, but it's dangerous because you don't want to attract the same man. And I think a lot of us can say that we have friends who remarried within 2 years of a divorce, and they end up getting a divorce. What's the ratio? 75% of second marriages break up. The reason that happens is because you end up attracting the same kind of man that you had the first time around. I remember when I left my husband, within a week, I called I'm going to see if actually she can come into the Facebook group, my psychologist. She is amazing. I called her and I said to her, I want to learn why I accepted this behavior and where my part was in this marriage, because I want a man, but I don't want to attract the same kind of man. And if I don't learn what I did wrong, I know I'll meet the same garbage. And that's what we worked on. See, for me, my therapy wasn't about him. There's a lot of women, and I see it on the group and all, they know everything about their husband. Man, freaking, they could write a goddamn encyclopedia on their ex-husband. He's this and he's that, and I understand this, and he's a narcissist, and he's imposter syndrome. They're using words I don't even understand. They know everything about him. They have studied him. They have spent $10,000 on a psychologist just to understand their husband. What good is that? See, if you're still fixated on him and you haven't done your own work, dating then becomes extremely dangerous because you haven't worked on yourself, and there's a very good chance you will just attract that again because there's something in your energy, in your sphere that likes that type of drama. That's really the grown-up way of looking at it. I recognize that something about that turned me on. That was heroin for me. Like, people are addicted to drugs, people are addicted to alcohol. I was addicted to a toxic relationship. I was addicted to a man that put me down over and over again. And the more he put me down, the more I fought harder to make him want me and love me. It's now that I look back, it makes no sense. Well, it makes a lot of sense now because I understand my part in it. I understand my needs that were unmet, and I understand all that. And that ship has sailed. I'm now on a yacht. We're all on a yacht. The fearless woman is on a yacht, beautiful yacht in the Mediterranean off the coast of Italy, Amalfi Coast. So that's really my biggest take. What time is it? It's 12:30. I try to do these lives for 30 minutes, not more. I want to honor your time. And again, my apologies for being late. I'm using this new StreamYard platform. I will see how it is when I get off the live. I'll check it out on the group. But the accountability factor of really understanding your part in the relationship, of why you attracted this type of person in your life, is critical in order to really finding true love when you start dating. So that's why when you're dating after divorce, my recommendation is first date for fun, in whatever fun that definition is to you. No one needs to know. Like, you don't have to tell anyone what you're doing. You can do whatever the hell you want. You are a grown woman. Do whatever you want. You know, I always say that sexual freedom, whatever that definition is to you, okay, but the more free you are in your womanhood and in your sexuality, the more free you are in life. There's, to me, a direct correlation with that. And the freer you are with you as a whole woman, there's something that will change about you that will be noticed, and you will notice it, and people around you will notice it too. You must embrace and love all parts of you, including the physical and the sexual and the dating and the men, you know, whatever floats your boat. No one needs to know. No one needs to know. You can do whatever the hell you want to do. Don't make rules. Do not make rules. There are no rules when it comes to you. You make your rules that are good for you, not based on society. Obviously, be smart. Obviously, be careful. Obviously, you know, be smart about it. We're grown women here. I don't have to, I'm not your mother. But I'm here to tell you that dating after divorce is freaking fabulous. Like, I met really fascinating people. I did really fabulous things. That is between me, myself, and I have no regrets. And that's what it's all about. And you can do it whenever you want, however you want. And that's the beauty of dating. You can be absolutely free to be who you are as a woman. So be emboldened by that. So when you're dating, it's not about him. It's about you. I want you to be texting 20 different men, not one. I want you to be so busy that you forget about them. I want you to be so busy in your life, and you'll see how they come back and they come back. Because all of a sudden, their guys are chasing you. And there's a whole concept about how men need to chase. We'll talk about that next week. But be emboldened by your beauty as a woman, because as a whole woman, you are beautiful, and there are many men out there for you. I'm telling you truth. Just look around you. You will see evidence with friends that you have that have guys, and you're like, I would have never pictured the two of them together, yet they're totally in love, or they're married again, or whatever it is. The evidence is out there. There's very, very, very good men out there, but if you're not in a healthy place, you will not attract those kinds of men. So use this opportunity to date from the perspective of being totally selfish. Make dating all about you, what you want, what you're looking for. We're not looking for his affirmation. We're not looking for him, to marry you tomorrow. You can't attach to the man. You must attach to the end result. What's the end result? You want to date and have fun? Go date and have fun. What's the end result? You want to one day get married? Okay. So date to look for that man to get married, and know that you're going to have to maybe meet 100 men before you meet Mr. Right. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, don't look at the guy as the guy. Look at the guy as one of a zillion guys to get to your end result. So then you're not needy. You're not latchy. You're not desperate. Okay, guys. So that's my little tip on dating after divorce. More to come. Hope this was good. I can't really see who the users are, but everyone said hi. So thanks for watching, guys. And tomorrow we will be doing the live about money, career, and looking for a job at 12 noon. So 12 noon for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is what I'm trying to do on Facebook for the month of June, to go live for 30 minutes and talk about my various subjects. So stay safe, stay healthy, guys. I'll see you tomorrow at 12 noon. Ciao.